Howdy ho, my peeps. It is 11:47 p.m. on Thursday. I should have made a lot more progress in my packing than I have. We're taking off tomorrow morning around 8, driving 8 hours to go see my kid, as you guys already know, because I keep talking about it because I'm so excited about doing it. And I didn't want to leave town without making this video. You know, it's funny, every once in a while in my life, I wonder what my reason for living is. You know, what is the thing I'm supposed to be doing now? For the longest time, it was be a mom to my kids, which I didn't do perfectly. I have a lot of regrets about my momming skills or the lack thereof. And But I took that role seriously, even if I didn't do all the best job I could have at it. And then I went right from that into caring for my parents, so that was my role. And then that lasted quite a while. That was almost a 10-year run. From the time my dad began to get sick to the time my mother passed away, that was around 10 years. And I've been struggling with what's my role now. And, you know, I have a lot of overlapping roles. I'm still mother to my kids. I'm still wife to Grant. I'm still, owner to animals that need help. I mean, I've got a lot of reasons for living. But I wonder about my big overarching, duty or role, or, what's the big reason I get up in the morning? And here lately, especially since I've gotten more regular with videos and, commenting back to you guys and kind of getting back on the swing of things. There's something weird on my glasses. What is that? Oh, nothing. I've noticed how many people have made comments to me about how much they appreciate my videos, how much you guys appreciate my videos, and how, not just appreciate them, but how my videos help you. I'm trying to find a couple of comments in here. Turn this volume down. Anyway, how my videos just help you get through the day, which was a shocker to me. I never realized when I started doing this that I would become therapeutic or helpful or somehow important in other people's daily lives. I mean, that was a new revelation when I started realizing that. And every once in a while, I'll get comments that speak to that. I wish I'd pulled this one up. I'm going to look for it while we talk. And there are so many of them, but this particular one prompted me to want to do this video tonight. But I'll tell you about it. It's from one of my viewers who goes by SL. That's her YouTube name. And she said something like, when she's feeling down, she goes on YouTube and she looks for my videos because watching them makes her feel better. It brightens her day or lifts her spirit. And she is one of so many who have said basically that same thing. Okay, so about a week ago, I had this dream I got up and I told Grant about it immediately. But here's what the dream was. I'm going to put my phone down so I can just tell you what the dream was. I dreamt that I was walking into the administration building of my old high school. I went to a Catholic high school. I was, prep kind of school, and I wanted to get an unofficial set of my transcripts, not something to send to a college. I mean, I was the age I am now, but I just wanted a copy of my transcripts from the school. So I had my mom in the car with me. I was driving. We pull up in front of the school. We both get out. We walked into the administration building. But as I went through the front gates of the school and turned towards the administration building, which is right there in this covered portico, the walls of the building were marble. They were this light marble with sort of gold veining in them, almost mausoleum-like in a way, or like those old banks from the turn of the last century. Very just beautiful marble walls and this beautiful door you had to go through that was all brass fitted, just beautiful glass door. So I go into the administration building, and it was set up something like an old library, only there weren't a bunch of books. There were some long, low benches, almost like pew seats in a way, that were simple marble slabs. Everything was very sleek and sort of contemporary in a 1930s way inside this room. There was a bank of windows with people behind them. There were also people in the room that would approach you and ask you if you knew what you needed and knew how to find what you were doing and blah, blah, blah. And so this first woman comes up to me and she asked me did I need any help? And I said no. I said, I think I just need to go over there and request my transcripts. Okay, so she kind of stepped back into the background. And now, something was interesting about the people in this room, too. They were all light, very light, almost Norwegian looking. Light skin, light colored eyes. Their hair was a whitish blonde. They were dressed very conservatively, almost in like robes in a way, but it was just like very simple shirts and very simple skirts. And it was all women in there. There may have been men, but I only remember women. Their hair was pulled back in a bun generally, or very simply dressed hair. They had very calm, melodious voices. Everyone spoke in a low tone. So I told my mom, I said, listen, why don't you sit here at the bench? I'm going to go over and get my business done, then we can go. So I sat my mom down on one of these long, low benches, and I went up and I told the person behind the counter, who looked very much like the other person, that what I needed. And she said, okay, well, and there was a fee, I think it was $37, and I signed a piece of paper. And then she said, you need to go over there and pick up the rest of the paperwork, which kind of confused me. I didn't know why I would need any more paperwork. I just made my request and paid the money. I mean, what else do you do? But I pretended like I knew what she was talking about because I didn't want to seem like I didn't know what I was doing to these people. In fact, the whole time I was there, I was holding myself very still. I was being careful not to stare, but to really pay attention to what was around me and to try to blend in, which is hard to do when you have purple hair and ratty clothes, right, in this incredibly strange room. So I just I'm pretending like I got my act together, and I just kind of glide over to this wall where they have all these pamphlets that made absolutely no sense to me. So I would take one and look at it and kind of nod my head like I knew what it said, and take another one and Okay, is this enough? I don't know. Maybe I'll take another one. Oh, and here's one that's got things to fill out. Maybe I'll take this one. Okay, so I figured after I had stood there at the pamphlet wall long enough, it was time to grab my mom and skedaddle on out of there. So I turn around and I glide back over to my mom and I'm like, Mom, get up. Let's go. We're done. Let's go. So she gets up. She's got her purse on her arm and we'll get to the door and these people are watching us go and they have these I don't know, kind of half smiles on their faces. And we get through the door and I'm like, wow, that was weird. Get up to the gate that you have to pass through to get to the sidewalk, and then our car was right there. And as I passed through the gate, there was another one of these people standing there. And she said, "Did you get everything you need?" And I said, "Yes, I did." And she said, "Good." She said, now it's time for the essay." And I was thinking, oh crap. I just had to fake my way through knowing what I was doing in this room, and now you want me to write an essay? But I nodded my head and I said, "An essay?" I said, "That's a new procedure." She says, and she's smiling like she knows everything, right? And she says, "Yes, it is." And I said, "All right, what do I need to write about? What's my subject?" And she said, "Bodhisattva." I look at her and I'm like, "Bodhisattva?" She says, "Yes, Bodhisattva." I said, "Okay, fine. I'll write the essay and I'll send it in." And I went to turn and she says, "Do you know what Bodhisattva means?" And I said, "Well, I know it's some sort of Buddhist or maybe Hindu, but I think it's a Buddhist principle of the philosophy. I'm not exactly certain." I said, "But if I had to struggle my way through an essay right now, I'd probably get a D plus. I'd probably pass." She kind of smiled, her little half smile. She sort of nods, and that's all she said. So I'm like dragging my mother to the car. Let's get out of here before they ask me to, walk a tightrope or, run for president or something. So we get in the car and Mom's like, "What did she say?" I said, "All she said was Bodhisattva." And then I woke up. All right. So I'm telling Grant about the dream. It was one of those vivid dreams you wake up from and you just have to tell somebody. So I told him about the dream, and I said, "Do you know what Bodhisattva is?" And he says, "Well, no." He says, "I know it has something to do with," he says, "I know I've known at some point, I can't remember, and yeah, he thought it was Hindu, I thought it was Buddhist, some, philosophical principle." So I looked it up. And many of you probably already know what Bodhisattva means, or you remembered it. But for those of you who don't, Bodhisattva is a condition that a person willingly accepts. And here's the condition. If you have achieved the highest level of consciousness that allows you to transcend the world and step into nirvana, you've reached that spot, you've done all the work through all the centuries, you're ready to go, it's time to move into nirvana, but you choose not to go into nirvana, you choose to stay on this earthly plane so that you can help others in their life quests, in their moving forward, and in whatever it is that they need to do, right, in the rest of their lives. You choose to withhold nirvana from yourself. It's like the ultimate selfless thing to do. And it was so weird because I immediately thought of all the people who have made these comments to me about how my just doing videos, just being out there available for them to watch and listen to and sort of interact with, how much of a blessing that is to them. And even though I haven't reached nirvana, I am not Bodhisattva. um, I have much to learn. Um, in a way, doing these videos is part of my Bodhisattva, because I know that it is, that I am somehow important. And so I know that I need to continue to put myself out there, just be me, and be available to people who, for whatever reason, need to hear my voice, like to hear what I have to say, feel uplifted by me, who I am, my spirit, and all that. And so it sort of answers the question of, what's my raison d'etre? What's my reason for living? I mean, between now and the time I die. And you guys and YouTube and the people who react this way to me, that's sort of become my raison d'etre. That's my Bodhisattva. That's my, what I will happily do until the day I drop dead of something, will be to continue to be here, just to be here. It is reciprocal, because you guys being out there, leaving your comments, telling me how valuable I am to you, is that becomes your value back to me. You're validating me, and you're creating this connection, this relationship that is valuable. So, SL, thank you for your comment, and everyone else who's made a similar comment, and there have been so many. It really, you guys have really helped me to reframe, or rather to frame in my mind what, who I am and what I do and what I'm about from probably here on out. Although there might be a time, if I live to be old enough, when I will no longer be able to be this kind of bodhisattva, and I will be maybe unable to think clearly or hear or type with my little arthritic fingers, and I will move into the place that both my parents moved into, where they were just kind of gathering their spirit together because it was time to die. And if I'm lucky, with a question mark, enough to live that long, then I will know what they went through. But I have a feeling that I'll be doing this YouTube thing for a long, long time. So anyway, that's what I wanted to leave you with at the end of this week before I go off onto my trip. And I will have another video that will go. I've already shot it. It'll go live on Sunday, and it's a masking video, the Goober versus Guru masking series that Cynthia and I did a few years ago. Well, we're reviving that, so I'll have a video where I put on a mask and I talk to you about some aspect of beauty. She does the same, and then we both link each other's videos, in the description bar. So, anyhow, that's that for the week, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.